Alright, what's up YouTube? I want to show you guys the different parts of the clipper before I start this video off. This top blade right here is called the steel blade. This blade right underneath it is called the moving blade, aka the cutting blade. So the blade underneath is the blade that actually cuts the hair. So the closer this cutting blade is to the top of this steel blade, the shorter the hair will be left on the scalp, and the easier your fading process will be for doing skin fades or bald fades and skin tapers or bald tapers. You know what I'm saying? It'll make this transition in between those different guidelines way easier. So I want to show you the difference between zero gap and how the factory is going to send your clipper in the box. As you can see, that moving blade isn't as close to that top blade as these clippers are. As you can see, those two blades are almost aligned with one another. And today I want to show you how to achieve zero gap. Is the barber terminology for this, what we're about to do. So this modification, what you're gonna need is a Phillips head screwdriver. And what you wanna do, you want your lever in the closed position when you start this process. You don't want it open, you want this lever in the closed position. So what you wanna do is unscrew the screws just a little bit. All you want is wiggle room for this top blade to be able to move around. And what you want to do is bring that top blade as close as you can to the moving blade without letting that moving blade protrude over this top blade. Because if that moving blade protrudes over the top of this top blade, aka the steel blade, you could cut somebody badly. You don't want to cut nobody, so what you want to do is make sure that blade is as parallel to each other and straight as you can get it. So once you get the blade set to where you want it to be, what you want to do is turn the clipper over, hold down the blade. You want to screw one side, then go to the other screw and screw it the same amount of tension down. And you want to keep going back and forth. But what you also want to do is look at your blade and make sure it's aligning properly. So as you can see, the blade is starting to turn to the right. As you tighten the screws to the right, the blade is going to turn to the right. So what you want to do is readjust your blade. So like I said, you want to make sure these two blades are parallel to each other. You don't want one end sitting higher than the other one. You want those two blades as parallel as possible. So once you get that back set up, what you want to do is tighten one side, go to the opposite side and tighten it down as well. Take a look and make sure your blade is still aligned the way you want it to be aligned. And then screw it all the way down, going back and forth as you screw. This will prevent the blade from turning, going back and forth and alternating with the screws. So once you do that, you want to make sure it's straight as you can get it. And then to test it out, make sure the moving blade is not protruding over the top blade. There's also another way you can adjust or zero gap your clippers by unscrewing one side, adjusting it to the level you want your blade at without letting that moving blade protrude over the steel blade. Set that side and then unscrew the opposite side and do the same thing. but it's whatever technique you prefer, whichever is easiest for you. So now you're all set, you guys. Hopefully this video helped you out. Y'all stay blessed and stay tuned for an additional video on how to modify and zero gap the trimmers, which I will be dropping in a couple days.